Why do I keep spending money on a $500 truck that was going to the scrapyard? I don't know.
Today we have a 4-high mod, clear headlight housings, LED bulbs, a new air filter, we have an exhaust tip, and fender flares. Now I know what you may be thinking about my fender flares. You might be thinking, oh Jake, you should just be doing the rest work. This truck has a dirty little secret. It has a trapdoor from the last guy that cut a hole in the bed to do a fuel pump. Anyways, we're going to paint match these, which are a replica of a factory fender flare. We are going to use the little holes here for some push pins through the bottom in the factory spots, because it looks like it did have factory fender flares on the truck. They also have adhesive on them. We're going to put them on here. But for right now, we're going to pop the headlights out, the grill out, throw an air filter in it. We're going to do all the good stuff right now, and then we'll get to that later because that's probably going to take a little bit of finessing to get it to look right. Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
It's a new truck already. This is a high performance air filter. I actually don't know if it's going to make any difference. In reality, it's just going to be much better for the truck to have an air filter. When I bought it, there was no filter on it. This is what we're getting rid of. That's trash. Regardless of the fact that it's an LS and this thing would probably run on peanut oil and piss, it still needs an air filter. Remember everybody, maintenance before mods every single time. It is the right way to do it, and especially if you're going to be hot rodding and abusing something, you want it to have clean filters, clean fluids.
I believe just use these pins under the hood of a GMC 800 is a happy place to be.
I'm going to take the other side out, which is the same exact process, just a couple of pins. So we're going to be doing some clears to the front here. Beautiful, straight from eBay. And if you put them side by side.
Before we put the headlights back in, we're going to pop this grill out of here, which is just a bunch of snap pieces here, probably a couple bolts underneath. We're going to use what I call the redneck paint trick. We're going to rip up one of the cardboard boxes that held the stuff that we just ordered. We're going to shape it to whatever it is that we're painting so that we don't get the overspray on it. We're going to prep all it, and then we're going to paint it. Sorry.
What we're doing now is we're going to set this up on a stand. And I'm going to wipe it down with what's called prep all. If you guys haven't used this stuff before, pretty much it gets like the grease and grime and dirt off of the porous parts of the plastic. I'm wiping it down right now, and I'm going to do a wet wipe, another wet wipe, and then one dry wipe afterwards just to get anything that's dried on off. So the idea here is that by the time you do your dry rag, there's going to be very, very little coming off. So as of now, I'm going to be doing a couple coats of paint. We have cameraman doing the lower portion of the front bumper because we're not pulling that off. We're just going to paint that on the truck. This is what it started as here, and this is what it's going to look like afterwards. I do satin, personally. I always do a very light first coat on everything I do. Then I hit it with a nice even second coat, possibly third coat. This right here is what I mean by a light first coat. You're not going to cover all the surface area, but you're going to give a little bit of paint to the surface. As of now, it's dry, and I'm just going to be doing a couple more even layered coats on here, and then we're going to get the bumper because cameraman's got that all prep-alled now. So we just did our first heavy coat on here, and as you can see, there is no more gray.
We're going to do one more coat after this dries, probably about 15-20 minutes before I lay any more paint on here because I don't want to create runs even though it's just the grill of the truck. But for right now, we are going to take our paint
and our cardboard. I'll turn my headlamp on so I can actually see what I'm doing here.
And I'm just going to go across the areas like this where I don't want overspray. For example, I'll start in a straight area, right? You can see there's no overspray on there, but I did get in the crevice.
The first very light coat is done. We're going to hit it with a couple more coats and then move on to some other goodies. It ain't going nowhere.
All right, so we're going to be taking these old bulbs out, like so.
Have a very boring, burnt out DRL here. Oh well.
I am going to have to order some of these online. To make all of our new LED beams work in unison, we have this little guy here. Now, in 99 to 02 Silverados and Sierras, you actually just tap into a ground and it's free.
In the 03 to 06s, it's a lot easier to buy an $8 circuit board here.
We are missing one relay, as you can see here. Remember last video when we stole a seat bolt out of that S10 that was headed to the scrapyard?
We got some more goodies out of it. We are going to take 4
relays out. The high, the low, the DRL, and the fogs. We don't have a fog, so I could have just replaced this one
in because they're both 8567 relays. We're going to put the fuse panel, or circuit board, or whatever you should call it, down here, like so, and then just reinstall. It is literally a 3-minute mod to complete this. The bumper is looking phenomenal, as you can see. I think that the black looks perfectly fine. We're gonna put the grill on, put the headlights back in. We'll take a look at what she looks like.
Who's gonna carry the boats? Ten times better than the gray was.
Black looks absolutely phenomenal on this. I did realize I missed a spot here, so I just hit that with tape really quick.
Typically, if you're getting this close and I'm trying to paint underneath something, you really can't do it with the cardboard technique like I showed you earlier. But the rest of it came out really good.
Now we're just popping this thing in. Ah! Oh! Oh! All right, so we have painted the grille, installed the headlights, diagnosed and fixed the low beam issue, which turned out to just be a relay. I love when problems are solved with simple fixes because my electrical knowledge is not that great. It looks way better now. We're gonna move to tomorrow where we paint and install some fender flares. Might be a little bit of a pain, but it's gonna hide the rust, and that's what we wanna do here. Alrighty, y'all, so I have lost cameraman now, but I'm going to paint the fender flares. I'm gonna do what I can to video what I can of this, and then we're gonna put them on. So what we're doing here is we're taking just your run-of-the-mill Scotch Brite pad. We're taking the shine off, essentially. You can see how shiny those are, right? See how dull this one is. We're gonna take the shine off, and then we're gonna do the same exact process that we did for the bumpers, but with this, an additional clear coat as well. We're now gonna hit them with a prep ball a couple times, another dry wipe, hit them with some paint, and then some clear coat. All that is done, and now it is time for some clear coat. I bought the same Dupli-Color acrylic lacquer clear coat. Probably not the best stuff on the market, but it'll work fine for our purpose here.
It's the next day now, and the flares are dry, so we're going to put them on. I went to Walmart and got some sticky double-sided tape, just in case the adhesive in the pins weren't enough. And I am currently unburying the truck because we got more snow. And man, that front end looks so much better. All right, so I do not have a cameraman yet again. What I'm planning to do here is I'm just propping you guys up there on a bucket. I'm going to lay the bottom of the fender flare in, put a couple of those push pins in that we talked about in the beginning of the video, and then push it up and set it on the surface. I am gonna wipe some Prep-All on the surface as well, so that it sticks the best that it can. That being said, I've never put fender flares on before. I normally only take them off. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do this. This 4-inch piece of adhesive is a lot of adhesive. Some would actually say it's too much adhesive. Some would say that 3 inches of adhesive is more than enough. All right, we got one side done here. I did have to add some of that Gorilla adhesive tape to this corner, and I got to push it in a little bit further. But otherwise, they're going on pretty good. Most of the pinhole locations under here are still available for me to put a pin in, and I'm very surprised at how well this color matches. This side kind of hurts my feelings to do, in all honesty, because that's solid. This, with a little patch, would be fine. But what's on the right must be on the left. And I think this is going to give us a nice little excuse to throw some 33s on this and take the back blocks out. It'll rub a little bit. Won't hurt my feelings. Alrighty, y'all, I am so happy with how this video turned out. The front grille, the clears, the 4 high mod, the wheels, everything ties right in. It looks so good from like 99% of the angles. It literally looks like a different truck, even from when we started to now. Everything I've done to this truck, I've actually liked. This has been such a fun project so far. And that begs the question, as of now, I can throw it up for sale. Or I can go more so all the way on this build. I can do the rust work that I've had a ton of comments asking me to do. I can put a locker in the rear end. I can tune it so that it'll be a lot more fun. I can put tint on it because it definitely needs it. I want to leave it up to you guys because I've had the best response to any of my videos in history to this truck right here. And I completely understand it. Everybody has given me the greatest of joys for bringing this thing back to life and not letting it go to the scrapyard. We can continue building it if you'd like me to, or I can throw it up for sale or trade it for something. I'm always buying and selling projects, so this isn't going to be the last one, and I honestly wouldn't be ashamed to hang on to this thing for a little bit and continue having fun with it. Let me know what you guys think below. Thank you so much for the support in this video series so far. Again, I apologize about the audio earlier on. And depending on what the response to this video is, I'll see you guys in the next one. I've got some other cool stuff planned, though, so even if you guys say, let it go, we're sick of seeing this thing, I have some other stuff up my sleeve for the next couple toys. Let me know. Thanks for watching.